Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When last left off, we got the fourth and final... what are they called? Plates? Sure. The fourth and final plate that we need in order to gain access to the castle where the Dark Lord is located. But before we do that, we got some other stuff to do. Optional stuff, in fact. Oh, huh. Apparently, I ended that stream right as we were about to end the memory card. Alright then. So, we're starting off today by going to another memory card then. I'm being hosted. I am being hosted by someone named X Ninja. Hey, thank you for the hosting! Anyway, later that night... I wonder how our Earthling friends are doing right now. Does it matter who we check on? Well, I'm gonna assume it does not matter and that we'll be able to check on each one of them, so let's go through them in order. Check on Dusk. Sigh. My heart is steadily growing more and more restless, and my blood seems to grow only colder by the moment. Why is that, I wonder? Am I afraid? This is the same cold chill that overtook me when I had thought Sarah would die from the wound she had suffered. Do I still fear for her life? Do I dread the terrible fate that will befall her should we fall to the Lord of Darkness and fail to save Elvenia? Ares softly says, "My, a young follower of the light often possesses a heart just as filled with worry and confusion, does he not? Your heart feels this dreadful shuddering because you fear for the person you love the most should you fall to the Dark Lord. You want to protect Sarah from suffering at the cruel hands of the darkness. Is this not true?" Miss Ares! Somehow, I thought that you would choose to appear now at this moment, now that we have come to such a climactic moment in our story together. It is actually kind of interesting that we get to see Ares now. Granted, we have seen her once before, but now we have absolute confirmation that yes, that one is Ares. Dusk bows. "You are even more beautiful than I had imagined. Please do not flirt with the angel, it is weird." Ares smiles. "I am grateful that you seem to be so genuinely fond of me, my dear servant. It is you, as my guardian angel, who has shown the greater loyalty by saving my life on more than one occasion." Ares says with a deliberate tone, "'Twas an honor to have been your guardian angel throughout this entire journey, my son. So, can I take these musings of yours to mean that you have finally come to an answer for the question I had imposed upon you the day we all left Sarah and her injured father in Kalinka to return to your world?" "You mean as to the most important reason I wish to save Elvenia from the Lord of Darkness?" "Yes, I believe so. Would the goddess of nobility be so gracious as to give her eternally caring heart just once more to listen to a continuously troubled soul such as myself?" "If I was going to refuse, then I would never have shown enough concern to ask at all." "It is true that I want to save everyone in this world, of course, but it is the Kalinkan princess whom I am fighting to protect. She is more precious to me than anyone else in this entire galaxy, in both my own world or Elvenia. Is That's somehow single-minded and self-righteous of me, do you think? Dear child, if you were willingly either of those two things, then I, the soulless Emsu goddess of nobility, could not very well have heard your cry for help that very first day you had all been fighting a losing battle against that heartless dryad woman. You are too unwilling to see the occasional evils in others, my dear Ares. You seem to see only the nobility. But then, I suppose that is what an angel always does, huh? Even if it means sacrificing everything, you are still willing to fight the Dark Lord to protect just one other child of the goddess, as well as the world. Even if the world was not in danger, only her, then you would fight him. Ares says with a sigh, "That is why I am so very sorry, my friend, to tell you that should we manage to vanquish this nightmare and enable you and your friends to return to your own world, you will never again be able to see the Earth's sister world or your dear Sarah for the remainder of this life. The celestial road between the two worlds will be forever closed with the Raftina and Zephyr earrings, which were stolen from her by the Dark Lord, now rightfully back in Serena's care. The Path of Eden will close soon after we give the earrings back to our mother once the Dark Lord is banished, and..." Ares sadly says, "I have withheld a great number of things from you, my child, because I determined, mistakenly or not, that your spirit could not endure the weight of them, and for that I am truly sorry. But it broke my heart to hear you tell me that you had promised to Sarah that you would come back to her to say farewell before going home. And for that reason, I just revealed to you, you may not even have that chance." "That is all right, Miss Ares. I know you and your sisters only meant to do what you thought was right. I trust they, too, will tell each of their own what your sisters know in their hearts need to be said. And besides, in spite of the urgency of time that will befall us in returning home once the goddess is able to claim her own creation once more, perhaps, I won't have to let the last time I said goodbye to Sarah be the last time after all." Ares has a surprised look. "You mean that for her sake you may choose to give up?" Dusk looks away. "Come on, Miss Ares, don't say it that way. You're making me blush. Besides, how could you not already have known? You've been able to fathom my very thoughts from the first moment I ever laid eyes on Sarah and felt my heart jump like it had, were you not? And I, in turn, feel close enough to you to be able to touch your thoughts sometimes as well." "Yes, Miss Ares, I think I understand what is truly at stake now, when we confront the Lord of Darkness. After all, I too have sought the goddess of fate who adopted me as her own, ever since I was brought to this world. Just not in the same sense that the four pillars of Elvenia, called the soulless Emsu angels, whom she also created, have been seeking her. Right? It isn't just Elvenia and my own world that is in danger, is it?" Ares brushes away a tear. "No, my child. It is also the hearts of my sisters and I. As you have surmised, if the Dark Lord defeats us poor angels will fade from the world forever. We might be doomed to exist only as remnants of light in the heavens, where we can never again give comfort, healing, or admonishment to mortal creatures of the world, as is our one and only duty as angels of heaven. Or we may be destroyed entirely. I am not sure which fate is worse. I'm gonna say that last one. And also, because Serena is powerless to do anything without her children's hope in her, I dread that, if the Dark Lord destroys the world in his hatred of Elvenia, rather than rule over her, then... Sniff. I fear that our mother will not even be able to take her children to heaven with her, where they will at least be safe from evil then. Dusk is fire-eyed, and I imagine if they actually had the ability to animate it, Dusk would literally be fire-eyed, considering some of the anime influences this game has. It won't happen, Ares. It won't. Thank you, my friend. I know that with the power of our love, and all Elvenians' love for each other, it will shine strongly enough to defeat this evil, even if the Elvenians' faith may no longer shine so strong. And will be enough to bring the goddess back to where she may again be able to grasp our upreaching hands. Dusk attempts to smile. Then please, let us speak no more of this potential hideous fate of Elvenia and her four goddesses, for, as you have said, it shall never come to be. Besides, perhaps you need not be concerned for me and never being able to see Sarah again either. Ares whirls around in shock. You mean that you are thinking of... Please don't say it aloud, Miss Ares. It's a little embarrassing. And as my guardian angel, how could you not have known what I have been thinking all of this time? Didn't we have this conversation already? Well, if this notion had first crossed that cute little guarded mind of yours back when you had remained behind with Sarah and Kalinka, then no, I could not have known, for I had withdrawn my presence from you so that you could be entirely alone with her. I would not have minded if you had remained close by as you always do, even at that time, Ares, because I know that, of all people, you would have understood. I'll always try my best to understand, dear child. It's what a guardian angel does. Suddenly we have the feathery southern bellish voice. She's right, Mr. Knight. Lady Ares is always there for the one she watches over. Hee, you're quite the dreamer, aren't you, talking of giving up everything, even in your life, for the princess you love. Ah, Miss Jersey. Certainly you would be just as understanding. Let's just say that a desire to see cute love stories be fulfilled to a happy ending is in my repertoire as a teenage human girl. Nay? Wink. Ares smiles. Perhaps you shouldn't have said that, Jersey. The child is blushing up to his ears. Jersey giggles. Sorry, Sir Knight. It was not my intention to do that. You too. Sigh. But, you know, Miss Ares, may I ask, why is it that you asked whether Sarah or all of Elvenia was more important to me? Surely, you do not mean to say that fate would take such a cruel turn as to make it so that we can save only one or the other from the Dark Lord. Could it? No. I could never imagine that Serena would allow one of her children to ever have to face such a horrible choice. I ask you this because of who you are, little one. I know you. You, like so many other children of the Serena, wish only to do what is right, but sometimes, even with the most well-meaning heart, you end up doing wrong. That witch Wraith was correct about one thing. She knew that you too had a dark half, and she forced you to confront it. A terrible trial that you passed with flying colors when you acknowledged your own personal demons with dignity and humility, but did not give in to them. Sometimes there isn't a wrong or evil choice, though, child. Like with the choice you just made, as to the one thing you want to protect above all else, Sarah or the world. To protect either one is right for its own reason, and you could never be condemned for making either choice if you were forced to. You say you want to save the girl you love, but it would distress you to have to sacrifice the world for her, right? Dusk nods. Yes. And if you chose the world instead, Sir Knight, you would still be stricken with heartbreak to have to sacrifice Sarah in order to save all of Elvenia, would you not? Because saving one innocent soul is just as important as saving many. Serena forgets not one of those she gives life to, even as she must watch over an entire galaxy, yes? I would. I choose Sarah, the Lincoln Princess. I love Elvenia, and even in a sense I will always love the world I came from. But it is Sarah who I live for. If she ever perishes, I don't think I could stay Death's hand from taking me as well. You know, I had a thought. If Serena belongs just to this galaxy, what about other galaxies? Are the boys doing all right? We have the option of saving our progress. I am hoping that this will not skip the rest of these, since this time it actually is just saving progress and nothing about going to sleep or anything like that. Okay, good. I noticed that we don't have Uri as an option yet. I imagine his will be the most important. Now, do I want to check on Lynn right now or go on a break? Just in case, let's go on a break. Because I don't know how long Lynn's segment is going to be, and Dusk was kind of long, and I don't want to have to take a break in the middle of that sequence. So, we will be right back. And when we come back, we will check on Lynn.